Hey, you! I need you to hit the subscribe button below.
Verse. Alright, so this is about your forefather and the trials he went through and how he got out of it, alright?
Book of Genesis, chapter 39 and verse 1. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, brought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. And the Lord was with Joseph.
Right, so basically what ended up happening is that Joseph got sold from the Ishmaelites, which if you look right here, hold on, let me see, let me find it real quick. Ishmael. You got the other slavery song? Yeah, right there. Okay, you got it. All right, because I just want you to get a picture in your head with it real quick. But when he was sold unto the Ishmaelites. So if you see these people right here, you see these people in the turbans, right? You see these men right here, the men with the turbans, the different men with the turbans right here. Those are the Ishmaelites. So the people you would see in Arab, the Iranians, the Arabs, the Syrians, all those people are the Ishmael. Like those would be descendants of Ishmael or the region, right? So we keep going. Yeah, Ishmaelites. So that's who Joseph got sold to.
Verse 2. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian.
Right, so the Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs, ended up selling Joseph, our forefather, to an Egyptian. So he was in the house of an Egyptian. He was living good for a while. Even though he was a servant, he had privileges, if you will. Just like our people today, even though we're in captivity, you see like basketball players, right? They're still slaves. They don't understand it, but they still slaves. But they get privileges. Oh, they get a little bit of money, they get cars, they get nice things, but they're still slaves. They're still under the captivity of America, right? So now check this out. Go to verse 12. Let's say, verse 12. Actually, start at verse 10,
Book of Genesis, chapter 39 and verse 10. And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph, day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her. And verse 7. And it came to pass, after these things, that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph.
Right, that's what I wanted you to understand. So during this time when he was under Potiphar the Egyptian, guess what? He had to deal with Potiphar's wife as well, because his slave master had a wife, right? And so she saw Joseph and she saw how good he looked. She wanted to basically have sex or adultery, do wickedness with Joseph, our forefather, right? So now read verse 10 and then to 12.
Verse 10. And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph, day by day, that he hearkened not unto her.
Right, so he had this woman basically saying that, hey, I want to sleep with you. What was he basically doing? He was denying that sin from her, right? So as a people, guess what? We in this captivity, we got to deny sin. We got to deny our lust. You see what I'm saying? So there's going to be different things that are going to be thrown your way. There's going to be trials that someone want you to get with drugs, go into parties, go and have sex with different women. You know what I'm saying? These are different trials that we all got to do. And there's many more, gangbanging, all sorts of trials and all sorts of wickedness that, guess what, we're going to be tried with, right? But guess what? Just like our forefather did, guess what? He denied those temptations. He was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not right in the sight of the Lord. Keep going.
And it came to pass, as he spoke to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her. And it came to pass, about this time, that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within.
Right, so now she got crafty. She said, guess what? Okay, I can't get with you right now. I'm going to send away, because remember, he's a slave in this house, right? I'm going to send away all the other masters, all the other servants in the household. I'm going to, yeah, exactly. I'm going to have you by myself. This is going to be me and you. I'm going to see what you really do. If you're going to be a man of the Lord or not. Keep going.
Verse 12. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me.
Now she getting fighting. She grabbed him. She said, come on, look, I want this now. Let's see what your forefather did, all right? Let's see what he did.
And he left his garment in her hand.
He said wickedness was there. He took off the garment and ran. That's how our people got down. That's how we got down as a people. Keep going.
And he left his garment in her hand and fled.
And he left the garment. He didn't care about the garment because he was like, look, I'm not going to be caught in this sin. Because that's how serious we was. We had nothing to do with that stuff. Right? So check this out. I want you to see what ended up happening because this is a trial for the brother, all right? Go to verse, I believe it's verse 17. Yeah, verse 17. Yeah.
Verse 17. And she spake unto him according these words, saying, the Hebrew servant.
Actually, started at 15.
Verse 15. And it came to pass, when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled and got him out.
Right, so what she basically did, because once he left, she ended up coming back lying. She said, oh, this man tried to rape me. I screamed and he left his garment. As soon as I screamed, he took off his garment and ran. So that's what she was doing. She was lying on the brother Joseph, right? Exactly. He got thrown in prison, and what ended up happening, guess what? He kept his faith though. He didn't reject God. He didn't reject his faith. He didn't reject the commandments. He kept doing the commandments. When you read on in verse 41, this is kind of long, so but when you get a chance reading the Bible, all right? You go through Genesis 39 on to 41, but when you read on, Joseph ends up getting out of prison because he has the ability to read dreams. And so the Pharaoh, he had a dream that he saw that he needed someone to interpret, and Joseph was able to interpret. He was so impressed by it that he put Joseph as second command over all of Egypt. That's how impressed he was by it. So he was able to get from the state of slavery. He was put into chains into prison, but he kept his faith, and the Most High raised him up. And guess what he used him for? What do you think he had him do as second in charge? Do you think he was just chilling, living lavishly while everyone else was suffering? He ended up using Joseph to help the rest of the nation of Israel. Because later on, you'll read that there was a famine in the land. Joseph was able to give food to all 12 tribes of Israel so that no one would starve during that time period. So he didn't use his position just for himself. He used it to help out the people behind him. So I just wanted to show you that real quick, to show that any trial tribulation that you think you may go through, the Most High can bring you out of it, and it could be used that you can help the rest of the nation. It could be used that you can help your people out in return, because you know how bad you had it. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I want you to use is as encouragement, is that when you read the Bible, guess what? You're going to get thousands of examples like that. Read Romans 15:4 one more time. You're going to get thousands of examples like that. And use every one of those examples of our forefathers to read, be able to understand, and be able to say, okay, I'm going through it right now, but guess what? My forefathers went through it too, and they were able to get out of it. Yeah, you got that, Romans 15:4?
This is Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Right, so I want you to always remember that. Whatever was written in the Bible aforetime was written for our learning. So everything in this Bible that you're going to read is for you to learn from it. It's for you to hold on to it so you know what to do today. All right, keep going.
That we go patience and comfort of the scripture might have hope.
Right, so that we may have comfort and hope through the scriptures for that thing. So we can read these things. You can read about your forefather Joseph. Like I said, get a chance. If you get a chance, you got a Bible on you. If you get a chance, go through Genesis. It's Genesis 37 all the way through 41. You'll read his whole story. You'll read all his trials, tribulations, what he went through, and you can have hope through that thing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever we go through, there's no new thing. That's what I'm trying to show you. There's nothing new that you're going through, that our forefathers are going through, that we're going through today, that we can't take an example of and figure out a way to solve that problem. All right? So that's the key thing, bro.
We used to scream Black Power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.